Another Arkansan convicted of raping a child has died in prison. 25-year-old Tevis Maxwell, who was in prison on his sentence from Hempstead County, was serving his sentence at the East Arkansas Regional Unit in Brickeys, Arkansas, when on Friday, February 2nd, he was found unresponsive in his cell. A quote from the Arkansas Department of Corrections says, "Life-saving measures were initiated but failed to revive him. There are indications that Maxwell might have been strangled." Tevis Maxwell was in a two-man cell, so the inmate he was sharing a cell with is being questioned in that homicide. Tevis Maxwell was sentenced to 25 years in prison in March of 2019. The charges that he had at that time were commercial burglary, second-degree battery, aggravated assault on a correctional employee, 2 counts of robbery, and rape. The victim in the rape was a minor under the age of 14. According to court records, Tevis Maxwell was charged in 2017 in Washington County with robbery when he walked into a convenience store with a steak knife and demanded that the cashier give him the money. Now, he didn't go to prison on that charge. He was given a suspended sentence in that case. Well, initially, after he got in trouble in Hempstead County, he was court ordered to serve that suspended sentence on that charge from Washington County, but initially it was suspended. The 2018 trouble for Tevis Maxwell started when he confessed to a family member that he had just broke in Barry's Grocery in Hope. When police arrived at the home, they found Tevis Maxwell to be in possession of several packs of Newport cigarettes. When they went to Barry's, which they didn't even know had been robbed, they found broken glass. They found that behind the register, there were several packs of Newport cigarettes lying on the floor. There was blood at the scene, and Tevis Maxwell had a cut on his back and a cut on his finger. That time, he was charged with commercial burglary and theft of property. In July 2018, he was charged with battery when he got into a fight with another inmate. An officer came in, tried to break up the fight, and the officer's radio fell off of the officer's uniform. Tevis Maxwell picked up the officer's radio and threw it at the officer, hit the officer with it, and then both inmates hit the officer. It seemed like that they hit the officer as a result of their own fight, not that they were intentionally hitting the officer, but he certainly meant to hit the officer with the officer's radio. In October of 2018, he was charged with aggravated assault on a correctional officer and battery when, after a shakedown in the pod that he was in Hempstead County, he approached an officer, started yelling in his face, pointing his finger in the officer's face, and ultimately touching the side of the officer's head. When they tried to take him down to the ground, he bit the officer's forearm on both of his arms, drawing blood. So in that case, he was charged with that aggravated assault of a corrections officer and battery. Altogether, Tevis Maxwell was sentenced to 25 years in prison. He would have came up for parole in December of 2035. That's because he has got in a lot of trouble since he's been in prison. In fact, major disciplinaries are listed on the ADC website, and I counted 141 for Tevis Maxwell since 2019 when he first went to prison. I will update if anything else comes out about this case, if anyone is charged with the homicide of Tevis Maxwell.